Okay, as you guys can see in that intro clip, we are back on the Duramax and we're gonna do our boost leak test. So I showed you guys this before. This is our calibrated power boost leak tester, home of the Duramax tuner. So pretty swanky little kit they got here. Basically it comes with a pressure regulator for the first time you buy it. This allows us to actually set how much boost pressure we're going to send into the system. And then over here, we have our L5P adapter plate. So in order to do this, all you have to remove is the intake and then the turbo mouthpiece. All right, so I have studs on mine, so we're not going to use the bolts, but they do come with bolts. I'm going to just use my studs that came with my intake. This O-ring is not wanting to sit in the groove. Well, we're gonna get this. Basically, you bolt this on, and this allows us to send pressurized air into the compressor. Now, if you're unfamiliar with boost leaks, basically what happens is you could have a blown out gasket. Now on the Duramaxes, you'll have on the L5Ps, there's rubber gaskets for the intakes, the intake manifold, RTV to the cylinder head, the Y bridge, W bridge. You could have a leak from your throttle valve. You could have a leak from all of your booted connections, all of your threaded sensors. The CCV can have a boost leak. This temperature sensor up here, the hot side intercooler pipe could also have a leak, as well as your intercooler. So a lot of places for leaks, and it's not just Duramaxes. All of your Cummins, Power Stroke, all of them use some form of intercooling, and everywhere there's a connection, a sensor, what have you, it has a chance to leak. So before we go drive this truck with the new turbocharger, I want to check and make sure we don't have any boost leaks. That way, when I give you guys a review and I go drive this thing, I'm not disappointed because I have a huge boost leak. Pretty cool tool. We'll get it installed. Okay, so we have our apparatus ready to go. I'm gonna hook this shop air up here. Give me one sec. Okay, shop air's hooked up. And we're gonna give it some pressure, okay? Now, I didn't have soapy water in a spray bottle. What I did have is a water bottle that I put soap in and poked a hole in. Now, I can hear some boost leaks, and some of it is the crankcase. But we come up here, we did already find this one. So CCV's got a boost leak. It looks like this top part's okay. We did have an interesting boost leak happening over here that we're gonna have to address. The driver's side, okay, so our cold side intercooler pipe looks good. And then I'm gonna show you guys the real gem, which we haven't even touched this boot. Look back in there. Huge leak. You can hear it. So that front boot that I've never taken off, we have a leak. So anyway, we're really glad we checked for those because, man, that would have been kind of disappointing. I don't know if we would have gotten all of the oomph out of the turbocharger that we needed. So now I'm going to go ahead and fix those leaks. The CCV I'm not worried about because in the next video we're going to handle that. But the EGR gasket as well as the intercooler pipe I'm going to go ahead and fix. Hopefully it's just kind of resetting the clamp a little bit and we'll be good to go. And then I'll do another leak test with you guys so you guys could see that we did in fact seal it up. Okay, now we have this boost leak taken care of. And the only place we're leaking, it's quiet, except for the CCV. So we'll call that good. Now we're gonna go ahead and disassemble it and get our Worley intake put on, hopefully for the last time for a while.
so we have our top end put back together. All the boost leaks are now fixed. We're gonna knock out a quick oil change here real quick. Probably do the fuel filters. We've been slowly topping off the coolant. But I tell you what, guys, if you would have asked me to bet money if I had a boost leak, I would have probably bet money I didn't. And that just goes to show you, no matter who you are, how much preparation, all that, it can happen to anyone. So pick up the tool. It would have been probably really disappointing on this turbo. Being a little bigger, it would have had some lag. Now we don't have to deal with that, which is awesome. And like any project that's coming near to completion, we're about to get to my favorite part here, which is the sticker part. You know, got to represent the people that keep us going, even with the move. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this wheel well liner in. I got the last bolt in for our oil dipstick. That was fun. Got our steering tightened up. All of our intercooler stuff's tight. And now we can throw this wheel well in, jack up the truck, throw our tires back on. You guys can see there we got the oil draining. And I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna try this time around. We are no secret to Hot Shot's secret engine oil. This is the green diamond. This is what I usually put in. You know, if I'm feeling bougie, maybe some blue. But I run this double, so I go about 10,000 miles on an oil change with this. And then over here, I decided to try the Wix XP filters. They're good for 20,000 miles. They fit the GM trucks. They look just like a GM filter, except they're not blue. And, you know, I was thinking a little better filtration maybe. This has a little bit better micron reading. I know there's some, I guess, drama on TikTok about Wix filters, but the Wix XP filters is what we use on, like, our Clearview filters, stuff like that. So I'm sure it will do a good job. I was also hoping maybe this seal would be a little better, so that way when this thing's cold and has really high oil pressure, it doesn't leak. So that was kind of frustrating. And one last thing to Duramax guys here. We're going to go under the truck. I'm going to show you how I change the oil filter. Now, if you're like me and you're tired of the oil that drips all over your front suspension when you take these oil filters off, I just use a little flexible envelope right into the drain pan here. Let me get this oil filter cracked loose. All right, jam it up there and then watch the magic happen. Instead of all that oil going all over your truck, making this job just an absolute nightmare, you just let it drain. Make sure that this doesn't fall. Yes, I'm aware they sell Florida funnels, but if you're like me and you get an Amazon delivery pretty much daily, you probably have a lot of cardboard boxes and these little bubble envelopes, and this is a good way to put it to use. Now, before I drop this filter and make a mess, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready, and I'll throw the new filter on. Or actually, we'll put this one on the bench, compare. Okay, so in quick glance, looking at the filters, you can see the Wix is the same size. Actually, a little smaller, really. It's kind of terrifying. But it is the right filter pitch. It looks like the O-rings are the same size. And this filter is supposed to be better. Not sure. I guess we'll see here over these GM filters. I guess I was feeling dangerous. Decided to risk it for the biscuit on this. If this ends up not working out, you guys will be the first ones to know. But that is where we are at. You know, just a little bit smaller. Actually, it's really not smaller. And it looks like it's bigger in diameter here. Let me get the little calipers dialed in here. We're even in bald eagle measurements. So we're not going to be able to get a super. So 3.6. Oh, no, same size. So I'm going to get this thrown on. Now, unlike your 6-7 Power Strokes that anytime you do the turbo, you really should change the oil. I guess you could have probably gotten away with it on the L5P. I was just worried with how much coolant may have spilled down the oil drain that I couldn't account for. So that is why I decided to change the oil. You know, it's a lot cheaper. You know, you're talking about $100 oil change, or, you know, a $7,000-8,000 engine just seems like the best bet. And then we know the turbo's getting fresh oil for the first part of its life. And that is why we decided to do it. So, you know, to each their own. I understand everyone's got an opinion, but this is what we decided to do. Well, folks, the saran wrap is off. Oil is filled. Got that all taken care of. Gonna close the hood. You guys saw me get the fender well installed. Look at the difference. Just all the dust. Now I'm gonna jack this up, throw the tires on. Next time you see this thing, she'll be under her own weight. Here she is. Yes, sir. We are in the belly of the beast. Windows down. Yeah. Got little man with me. Seatbelt for safety, of course. Turn my exhaust brake on, because why not? And let's go on a little trip around the block. So already a very different noise. I'm a fan. Not overly obnoxious. Just it lets you know it's there. It says hello. You like the noise, Jace? We gotta let this thing warm up or else our oil pressure just goes absolutely bananas. We got engine coolant, engine oil, EGT, lift pump pressure, timing, and boost over there and vane position. And this is my subdivision, not subdivision, but like neighborhood. So I try to be respectful. It's 25 in here, but it's Saturday, holiday weekend. Kids are playing, beautiful weather outside, 82 degrees. Just being courteous, you know? I feel like that's why half of the people with modified diesels get in trouble is they just don't care about other people. And that's what ends up screwing them. So we just keep doing it my way. All right, we are in tune 3, by the way. Lot more whistles, and our tires are definitely flat spotted for sure. Gotta let that work settle itself down a little bit. I think, guys, if we hadn't have done that boost test, I might have been disappointed. Definitely a cool sound though. Like it's different than the stock for sure. I enjoy it. £16. I might also direct your eyes going downhill, exhaust brakes on. We're not in manual mode. So once you put it in manual mode and you start telling it what to do, that exhaust brake puts in some work. For sure. This place, this is not my neighborhood. We do not care. Oh, you like it? Yeah. I took Jace for a ride in a customer's LML this morning. That white truck, what'd you say it sounded like? A kitty, yeah. Which one's better, this one or the white one? This one? All right, that's my boy. And we have opened the thermostats, so we have to start that cycle all over again. Give you an exhaust brake. obviously we're going uphill, but I have not touched the brake yet. And I just applied the brake. No white smoke, black smoke, gray smoke, improper install smoke. Wow. Okay, I have the windows up. This thing has way more power at like 3,500 RPM. Like, it picked up quite a bit of power. I'd be curious to see it now. We have some dyno time lined up to dyno it. Unfortunately, it won't be the exact same dyno we've used previous, but it'll get us a good gist. I bet you this moved the power band over probably 300 RPM. I love it. So much more power up there at the high RPM. This is definitely cool. The only thing I did notice is like if you let the truck kind of lug, it does have a little bit more lag. I'm not gonna say like it's undrivable, anything. It's just something I noticed. Again, I don't hate it at all. It is just a noticeable turbo lag. I would say maybe 100 RPM. I've driven this truck for so many miles, so long with like stock turbo and everything. Like, you kind of notice those things. Now, some of it might be that tiny boost leak we still have in the CCV, but I'm willing to bet it's just the bigger turbocharger causing it. And I'm not at all like scared to tow with this. Like, it is still a VGT. It is still extremely capable, and we have not even retuned this truck for the bigger turbo yet, so this is still running a stock turbo file. But it is cool how much more power it has up top. Like, this thing is definitely ready to party at 3,500, whereas before I felt like it would pull up there, but it kind of like kneeled over on itself real hard, whereas now like it just has horsepower. And we're here at the gas station. Definitely have a coolant leak. We definitely went a little too far, that's for sure. So we're gonna head home. The heater core hose blew off, like the billet ended one that's supposed to be like this amazing problem solver. So we're gonna head home, spray it off. Hopefully, I have an engine oil temp, so really, you know, if it gets to about 200 degrees, I'd probably be worried, but we're still pretty low on the oil temp, so I'm gonna just kind of let it be and get home, spray it off so this coolant doesn't get crusty. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but brought it home, put the line back on, and now we're good. So I'm gonna go drive it a little bit and see if we have any more leaks, and maybe get you guys some more sound clips. %50 throttle. Dang. All right, Jace, you want to shoot this outro?
Yeah.
What's the thoughts on the new turbo? Good or bad?
No.
Good. Does everyone need to get a new turbo for their truck?
No.
Yeah. Did it go a lot faster now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than the leak, huh? That was unfortunate. But as you can see, we already started working some of the air out. So over the next 2 times I drive it, I'll just top it off and we'll be good to go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this series. We still have a couple more videos, like I said, the CCV route, glow plugs, stuff like that. But now you guys have a running, driving video of the 64 millimeter stealth turbo from Calibrated. I like it. Yeah, it starts. And we got the PP manifolds on there, PP up pipes on there. Obviously, we have a lot more testing to do with some dyno numbers, stuff like that. But I can tell you, it does pull harder in the upper RPM. Again, I would say the lag is maybe 100 RPM. Very easy to drive around. Like, I don't even think I'd have to tap shift this to tow. But I do understand that it is not a stock turbo, and I do not want to give you guys the impression that this will drive like stock. It is very close, but it is not stock. So if you're looking for a stock turbo, they have that as well. If you want something to maximize your stock fuel, This is definitely the turbo. You guys have seen all the mods. The only other things we have this Whirly intake with our PDD air filter, Whirly mouthpiece, Whirly intercooler pipes. We got our polished W bridge, which did absolutely nothing for us other than look pretty. And now we got our 64mm stealth turbo. We still have injectors, CP3 swap coming for this thing. So we are far from done. But for right now, we're going to drive it the way it sits.